They'll be stuck in space forever. Captain Shock makes a last-ditch attempt to pull on the rope and heads for the supply depot, because he was going too fast. He couldn't hold on to the outer hatch and flew straight into the depths of Mars orbit. Anna hissed at the sight of Shock drifting away, but she did not give up on her husband after the three grabbed the supply battle, quickly rushed in the direction of Shock and then released the rope. It was so close that Shock grabbed the rope, but it was too late. Anna's fuel was half used up. Any further and both of them would be left in space. Shock looked back at the debris falling into the atmosphere and unwilling to risk his wife's life for him. He opened the helmet of his spacesuit with a kiss through the helmet line. The freezing cold of space instantly turned it into an ice sculpture. Anna looked at her husband slowly drifting away heartbroken, but there is nothing to do but continue to complete the mission with sadness. Then they arrived on Mars without incident and the three of them split up to check the condition of the escape pod. Entering the capsule, Jack soon realized that not only was the greenery vibrant, as if there were still signs of human life, but the oxygen was also in the normal range. Just as he was picking up his old birthday cake, he suddenly realized that someone was trying to attack him from behind. Jack turned round and it was Paul, who had been missing for over a year. He'd been missing for over a year, but he'd survived. But it took him a while to react to the prolonged depressions. Then Paul showed them an image of a huge human face that had a strange sound when it was near. After more than a year of decryption, Paul analyzed the image and eventually turned it into a set of genetic data, but it wasn't complete. The last pair of chromosomes was missing. With Paul's information, Jack had the idea that the voice could have been a test, but they didn't get it right, and that's why the face attacked them. Then they filled in the last missing part of the human genes and converted it into sound, which was transmitted to the face through a radar gun. To avoid a repeat of the previous tragedy, they approached the face with a detection vehicle and then used a remote control system to transmit the sound and waited. It didn't take long for the face to move, but a white door of light slowly opened as if inviting them. It seemed Jack's suspicions had been right, and the people in the escape pods were excited about what would be another great discovery. Then they arranged for Carter to stay behind to meet them, and the other three were ready to enter in the cart. What is the secret of this mysterious face, and what will be the next discovery? To find out the last secret, the trio entered the light door. It's a large, pure white space, and as soon as they enter, the door closes behind them. Jack was surprised to find that the oxygen and pressure were within normal limits. Then he slowly opened the suit. Despite the two men's resistance, Carter and Anna, seeing nothing out of the ordinary, removed their helmets. Just then another door opened behind them. As the three entered, a holographic projection of the solar system appeared. It turns out that billions of years ago, Mars had blue oceans and white snow-capped mountains, just like Earth, and was very habitable. Suddenly, a large meteorite hit Mars, destroying the entire planet in an instant. After the huge smoke and dust, Mars became what it is now. While the three of them were feeling sorry for themselves, a tall alien slowly appeared. He looked at the destroyed Mars and shed tears of sadness. Then tens of thousands of spaceships rushed out from the destroyed Mars and flew to another unknown galaxy. The aliens left behind a spacecraft in which they placed a gene-like seed and headed for Earth. Then life began on Earth and evolved over billions of years to the present high-tech age. Is this the true origin of life? Life on Earth was seeded by aliens. Then the aliens joined hands with them and formed a circle like guardian angels surrounding the Earth as if to tell them to protect their home. Then the aliens waved their hands and a white circle appeared under the feet of the three of them as if inviting them to visit their new home. Meanwhile, Paul sends a message that a sandstorm is coming and they must evacuate as soon as possible. But Jack stayed behind, thinking it was an invitation from the Martians to visit their new home. A chance to learn about the origin of life. Carter and Anna, unable to stop Jack, said their final goodbyes and left. Jack then stood on a glass tube above the aperture and slowly fell down with a dazzling white light into the alien ship left behind. Carter also successfully entered the escape capsule. Just as they launched, the giant human face slowly disintegrated. The alien ship Jack was traveling and shot off into space at great speed, just missing the escape pods and heading for a galaxy far, far away.